usually sitting right over there in the corner. And the questions say, identify for me a particular lymphatic node, a lymphatic trunk, a lymphatic organ, node, trunk, organ, and duct. Okay, duct. So 4 questions. So the nodes are the little tapioca-looking things on here that are yellow, and they're just named by the region that they're in. So axillary, cervical, bronchomediastinal, gastric, inguinal. You kind of get the idea. Okay, if it's not on your list, you don't have to know it. All of the white lines in here, those are your trunks. Okay, we don't show any of the collecting vessels on here. They're all trunks. So I was going to ask you for a cervical trunk, you'd find a white line up here. Okay, that's a cervical trunk. There are multiple cervical trunks. Okay, but one of the things you learn about the lymphatic system is it's not as cast in stone as are, say, the bones and the muscles and the other vessels. There are all kinds of variation. You just find a lymphatic vessel in an area and you call it blah, blah, blah vessel. Okay, you've only got 2 ducts to worry about. The big one coming up here is the thoracic duct, and it curves and comes into the brachiocephalic trunk on the left. Okay, the right one is this tiny little guy right there under my thumb. That's it. It doesn't have a big long extension because it just collects stuff from the head and the right arm. And that's the right lymphatic duct. I don't care if you tell me the thoracic one is the left thoracic duct, the left lymphatic duct or the thoracic duct. They're both fine. You come down the thoracic duct to the end, and you'll see, you have to look in here a little bit underneath, but there's a big bulbous end of this, and that's the chyli cisterna. Something we'll talk about in the digestive chapter is the fact that when you absorb fat in your intestines, it doesn't go into your blood vessels. It goes into the lymphatic vessels, where it's then returned to the heart and then brought to the liver. So it kind of bypasses the circulatory system in the gut, at least initially. Now, that's only fat that does that. So when you absorb fat, that becomes part of the lymph. And so that's why you have a much larger thoracic duct and a chyli cisterna, is to handle all that absorption of fat from the gut. Okay? And then finally, your organs. Well, over here's the spleen. That's the tail of the spleen sticking out there. And down here, sticking off the large intestine, in the area called the cecum, that's the vermiform appendix. You can't see the thymus on this one because in about 80% of adults, the thymus had degenerated, and there's really no thymic tissue left. So for that, you got to use the creepy endocrine baby model, okay? And that's the thymus there. Okay. So if you did endocrine and AMP1, it's just review. If not, that's the thymus. And as far as the tonsils go, you have to look at the sagittal head section to identify those. Okay. And again, the tonsils I don't really focus on a whole lot right now because we'll do that more when we do the respiratory and digestive systems. Okay. So for today, your primary focus is looking at the blood smear. Make sure you do that. Secondary focus, look at the lymphatic board. And then if you have time, look at the lymphatic histologies. If you don't have time to do that, which you probably won't, leave that for Monday.
Okay. How many, do we need to know all the lymph nodes or just be able to locate and identify one
Pretty much
or two?
the ones that are, I have a list that's on Blackboard.
Okay.
The ones that are listed in there and the ones you should know.
Okay.
Okay. Anything else?